Former President Donald Trump's civil fraud trial enters its second week here in New York City. A New York appeals court denied Trump's request to halt proceedings. However, it did stop a judge's order to cancel business certificates of the former president's companies in the state. Trump attended the first 3 days of the trial last week, and there was chief election and campaign correspondent Robert Costa, who joins us now, this time from D.C. Robert, what can we expect during week 2 of the trial?
Former President Trump is not going to attend the trial this week in New York. I was there last week, sitting just steps behind him in the New York City courtroom as he listened to his business be accused again and again of committing fraud against New York investors and others. What you're going to see this week is a continuation of testimony from those who were familiar with Trump's company, with its accounting, and detailing how they believe Trump and his associates overvalued Trump's properties and other business ventures over the years. But it has been disrupted by this recent flurry of rulings about the ongoing trial and how the Trump organization is for now not going to have to dismantle its operation because a judge ruled in recent days that that effort could be put on pause, even though the judge overseeing this current case had pushed for that.
So what does that do to this case? It means the ruling on the Trump organization.
Sometimes this can be like walking through a blizzard of litigation. There's an ongoing civil trial overseen by Judge Engoron. Judge Engoron will continue to sue to oversee this trial. At the same time, Trump's lawsuit against the judge has been put on pause and subsided, as Trump believes his business can continue to operate even as it faces this civil trial in New York. Now, the New York State Attorney General's office is frustrated with this appeal judge and how they've allowed the Trump organization to continue to operate. But at this time, the civil lawsuit will unfold this week. Week 2, they'll hear a lot of testimony. And as the judge has said, this could last until December, until the end of the year. So we're only in the early beginning process of the entire trial.
So not surprisingly, while campaigning over the weekend, Trump took advantage of the opportunity, perhaps, of speaking to the public, given that he couldn't talk about the case last week, and attacking the Biden administration, saying that Biden betrayed Israel. What do you make of how he's framing the war at this point?
Former President Trump is on the campaign trail trying to tout his own administration's record, specifically when it comes to Middle Eastern policy and relations with Israel. He's been underscoring his efforts to create a peace deal with what he has called the Abraham Accords during the final year of his administration. For Trump, this is not just about foreign policy as a former president weighing in. It's about weighing in as an active candidate, and he's trying to create a stark contrast between him and President Biden.
All right, Robert Costa, thanks for putting that into context for us.
Thank you.